Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
Lars.
Welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to. Had a black screen up there for a second. Welcome back to the show. In today's episode, we're going to talk about tonight's Monday Night Raw. The OTC is back again. What is, you literally had texted me. You're like, oh man, I don't know what we're going to do for the thumbnail today.
And then 30 seconds later.
Yeah.
I manifested it, Steve.
You did. I was very, thank you for that, by the way. I appreciate it. And then, of course, we're going to talk about Smackdown from Friday, because Friday we didn't do a show. Well, we didn't do a Smackdown review anyways.
We did do a show for Friday, yeah.
So we owe you that. And then I think tomorrow we're going to do a No Mercy review where, oh boy, Larson and I talked very briefly about No Mercy. And I'm really interested to hear what you have to say tomorrow after a little bit more reflection.
I feel pretty confident saying that we won't be returning to NXT reviews on the weekly basis anytime soon. Leave it at that for now.
Oh, dear.
Leave it at that for now. You mentioned it at the head here. Roman Reigns is back. There seems to be, I don't know what, every other month now we get to put Roman Returns on the thumbnail because that seems to be the deal now. He shows up. He's got something else going on. He gets written off TV with the injury angle. Once his other obligations are done with, he comes back. In this case tonight on Raw, he won the match for the Usos in this tornado tag match.
Yeah, it was nice of him to do that.
They were getting wrecked. He proceeds to come out with the chair, blast Bronson Reed over the barricade, blast Braun Breaker a bunch. Spear from Jay, double Uso splash later. Usos win, and then he's talking up Jay for saying, "Don't give a fuck about anybody else. Look out for you." They had to bleep it out because he did say that.
Yeah, he's OTC.
And while Jimmy's in the back, I don't like where this is going. No,
you know what, Jimmy? You need to listen. You got to get on the train, okay? O Train C. That's what you got to get on because Roman Reigns. He's got the winner's attitude, Larson. He's got the winner's philosophy. This dude is the modern day Bruno. Yeah, you listen to him. Absolutely. Jimmy Uso, what's he done of note lately? A whole lot of nothing. Jey Uso felt, he got a taste of the world title scene. He wants more of that, partner. So yeah, Roman Reigns, hype him up a little bit. That's what Jimmy should be doing. Look out for number one, Jay. That's what I think anyways.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think?
I appreciate they're giving Jay some complexity of his character. People for the longest time were like, "Oh, he's just his entrance. He's just his catchphrase."
Yeet. Or if you're Triple H, you're just a gassed wrestler
due to the entrance. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we always said there's more to it. All what he did post Bloodline is a reaction to his time in Bloodline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now, he got a little taste of that World Heavyweight Championship. He wants more than a taste.
Mm-hmm.
He wants the whole meal.
Yeah, he wants a whole enchilada, man.
And so I appreciate they're adding a little bit more complexity to his character. As far as Jim goes, he's your brother.
Yeah, okay.
Why does Jim feel so aligned or whatnot with LA Knight? He feels like he needs to help him. Why don't you just say, like, hey, I helped you a couple times. Got to back up my brother.
I think dude, don't you think, though, it's more like, when you call somebody out and they talk shit, even if they're probably right and they approach you wrong, what are you going to do? You're going to double down. You're going to dig in deeper. And I think that's what he's doing, It's very complex. He saw what happened with Roman, and he's like, I don't want to deal with that ish again. Blood. I just want Jey Uso. LA Knight, come on, he's a fun guy. We all know that if we go out on the town with LA Knight, we're all in bed by 10 o'clock. All right. Our keisters are in bed by 10. Healthier for us. Good night's sleep.
Probably.
He's like, oh, hey, let me get you an Uber.
Yeah.
And so, he's like, hey, this guy's fine. So you guys had a miscommunication. Happens in wrestling all the time. Hell, we don't even talk when cameras aren't rolling. And so, when Jey Uso has such a viscerally violent response to LA Knight, maybe Jimmy deep down knows, LA Knight's got kind of a point here. You guys were on the verge of taking out the Vision, Seth Rollins, in that one match, and then we could have divvied up the spoils, and then, or at least figured it out as a three-way.
Yeah.
And because you can't divvy up the title.
No.
That doesn't work.
I mean, suppose you could, but then who's the champion?
Well, they did that once with the women's. They did that with the Lay Cool, I think. They had like the two, it was actually kind of cool.
Yeah. But they were aligned. They were a team.
Right, they were a team. You don't want this three-man faction unless it is. But anyways, so he's like, hey, you know what? LA Knight has kind of a point here. You're being an asshole. You're kind of acting like, Roman-ish. And I don't like to see it. And on top of that, you're treating me like an asshole. So, nah. How about that? I think that's where he's coming from. I think he's got a good point.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, but that doesn't stop me from saying, listen to Roman. He knows. This business is not about making friends, man. What is it about?
To quote Booker T, it's about checks and championships.
You got that right. Exactly correct. We got some new memberships here at the channel. Javier became a channel member. Thank you, Javier.
Thank you.
Jay Smooth is back for 25 months now. Says, hey, friendos. Frolicious in his 23rd month, and he acknowledges that it's Jordan month because it's his 23rd month.
Yeah, the GOAT.
Mm-hmm. And then Sean here with the super chat says, hey, guys, hope you're well. Rio/Kabuki Warriors. Oh, EO and the... Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's funny. Rio/Kabuki Warriors should main event Crown Jewel. It's the best story in the company by a lot. I love that story, and we're going to talk about that more here in just a moment.
Let's talk about this, though. We kind of... There's more we could talk about with the Roman stuff in that. Yeah. Specifically, where does Roman go from here? Obviously, he has beef. Specifically, you would think with Bronson after hitting all those tsunamis on him, putting him in the hospital, writing him off TV. You could extend that to Braun Breaker as well, you would think.
Mm-hmm.
Does this mean match at Crown Jewel? Does this mean Roman, Usos, and maybe CM Punk, maybe Cody at War Games against the Vision?
Yeah, you got to think that some iteration of Jay, Jimmy, Roman now, because Jay and LA Knight are at Perth, right?
They have a match?
Do they have a match? Oh my God, did I just make that up? Did they? Oh, they had that match last week on Raw. Never mind. Sorry, thought that was going to pay-per-view. No, you know why? Because last week I was like, hey, you and I were talking about that going to pay-per-view, and they just did it. They just did it on Raw, so I guess that's not happening.
So there's potentially, if my math is right, 6 people that could be on the War Games team opposite the Vision. You got Jimmy and Jay.
Yeah.
You got LA Knight.
Yeah.
You got Roman.
Yeah.
Cody. Punk.
Yeah. I kind of feel like Cody might have an out. Well, no, because chances are Seth is going to be the guy Seth has the Vision. They're going to help out Seth at...
Yeah, Seth is winning at Crown Jewel.
Yeah. I was just thinking, okay, is like Drew going to screw him? But Drew's already got something going on, so it makes sense for it to be the Vision, obviously. But what does Roman do at Perth? That's coming up next. Because that's kind of the question there.
He already faced Braun. He faced Bronson Reed at a singles match already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A Clash in Paris, I think.
Yeah.
So, I don't think they necessarily revisit that. It's either Roman and Braun, or maybe it's Roman and Jay teaming up against the Vision. Hey, the Vision got a logo. We saw that tonight.
They need to take that and do it again. Like, they need to restart completely from scratch. Like that, choose a new AI model, however they got this thing made. Wouldn't put it past them to just, have said, hey, well, we need a logo. And maybe this is for eagle-eyed viewers, I don't know, because it wasn't on their Tron. It was just on the back of Braun and Bronson's jackets.
Yeah.
And it looks kind of like, and let me get your thoughts on this, but when I saw it, I was thinking two things, and they're very different. A new alert logo for a new streaming service. Yeah. Kind of sounds like a streaming service.
The Vision.
Or B, like a cologne pushed by Timothée Chalamet.
Well, I told you it looks like it could be on the cover of a sci-fi novel, and then you said could be the logo for Apple TV series. I would assume an adaptation of said sci-fi novel. It's kind of is. I feel like what they're going for is kind of a retro futurist type thing.
Okay.
Like I could see like an '80s aesthetic with that logo.
Okay. All right.
I could see that. I mean,
All right.
all we got was a gold logo on a leather jacket. So there's not much to really work off of.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just very simple, which isn't inherently bad.
No, simple is actually very good, but it has to be good simple.
Yeah, I mean, let's see it implemented in other ways. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know if necessarily back to the drawing board. I think there might be potential there,
Okay.
but let's see it implemented in some other fashion before making
Well,
that judgment.
I would just say this. How about this? What if you take that logo, you make it look like it's spray painted onto a black T-shirt in white
So
with
you're
like
NWO essentially. Is what you're saying.
everything comes back down to that. Yeah. Everything
You
should
can see
come
that.
back
If you
down
want
to
that shirt, you can buy that right now.
I know, but they got the one with the stupid WWE logo on it.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't need
lame.
that little tiny thing on it. I hate that.
It's obnoxious.
Why would they do that?
Really obnoxious.
Anyways, let's talk about this before we move on to our actual reviews of stuff because it was I might add it to the thumbnail. I don't know. We'll see how this one does. But let's talk about on Friday, they had this big Smackdown main event. And we had Jade Cargill and Nia Jax taking on Tiffany Stratton to try to dethrone Tiffany from being WWE Women's Champion. And it was notable for two things. Number one, Jade got a nasty, brutal gash, just like in her eyebrow area.
Yeah.
And it was pretty brutal. It was towards the finish of the match. But the second thing was one of the, miscommunications in wrestling happen.
Yes.
It is what it is. But there was there was one interesting kind of non-story that goes along with this. So basically what happens was Jade hit Nia with what looks to be kind of a secondary finisher these days, or at least that's how this was supposed to sort of be framed, I guess. She hit Nia Jax with a big move of hers.
There's a boss man slam.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Boss Man Slam. Thank you. And Cole sells the shit out of it. I think it's got its own name for Jade.
Eye of the Storm.
Thank you. Yes. And so he sells the shit out of it. Tiffany comes in as the ref is counting, but it seems like Nia looks over to see Tiffany might be late on arrival. So Nia, who's being pinned by Jade, sort of pushes Jade off and basically ostensibly kicks out in the pushing off and then gets pinned by Tiffany. And then the ref counts and does the thing where Nia keeps her shoulders down and the ref, nope, because the ref didn't realize that was supposed to be the finish. And it was kind of goofy because if Nia had just kicked out, why would she then go back into the, oh, I'm so hurt I can't kick out situation? And so there was a tweet about this from some Twitter user that says Tiffany was late to break up the pin. She was supposed to push Jade out and steal the win, and that was the end of the match. They've done similar finishes at house shows, and it was liked by Jade Cargill. So it seems like maybe that was some sort of verification that was
Could be.
the situation.
Could be. I mean, your dude, Bully Ray, gave his 2 cents on Busted Open Radio.
This, I would think, then, is more definitive than one of the actual participants. Please go ahead.
Describes the situation. Jade's going for the pin after the Eye of the Storm. He says, Nia is looking towards her left, and Nia is looking at Tiffany Stratton. Why is Nia looking at Tiffany? Because Nia knows that Tiffany is responsible for making the save. Nia realized that Tiffany is not going to be there in time. Tiffany is definitively late, which puts Nia in a bad position where she has to kick out.
Yeah, it did put her in a bad position.
Yeah. And then, not very often do you see this where something like that happens. And Nia is having a conversation with the ref.
Yeah, that was the thing is, number one, as soon as there was that happened with the ref and the awkwardness, you cut to like the fucking drone or something. You go away from that shot. We do not need to see the conversation that ensues. But that honestly, and this is me saying, It is shocking that this kind of thing doesn't happen more often.
I know.
Because obviously these wrestlers, the drama is heightened when they kick out at the 2.999. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's crazy that this kind of stuff does not happen more often. I was listening, and this clip was going around social media a lot in light of this. Charles Robinson, Little Nate, was on Chris Van Vliet, and he was saying how these days, as a ref, he goes down there and he says, kick out. Because he says we don't call it as a shoot anymore. like you go down there, and if I know this is not the finish, I am not going to put my hand down for the. So you better get your shoulder up. But usually people are on the same page, and usually if this happens, like the camera's not just sitting there, in all the uncomfortableness of a conversation, uncomfortability, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know, kind of a silly situation, but. People just antsy to blow up on Nia Jax. And then a bunch of wrestlers came to her defense. Like I think Chelsea Green had tweeted out
Chelsea
that she's
did.
she's like a locker
I mean,
room
otherwise
leader
it was a really well paced, pretty darn enjoyable match. And Jade, despite the getting busted open hard way there, going face first into the ring steps, she made a point of going right up to the camera that was down there on the floor and making sure it got a good shot.
It was a hell of a visual.
We were talking about it was
really
her
cool.
time right now. And I'm like. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, and we have the benefit of history with Becky when she got busted open by Nia in the lead up to Survivor Series years ago. And that was like such a defining image of her run at the time.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And, if WWE kind of plays this right, this could kind of be that for Jade too.
I think there is the possibility, but I think the botch pin probably put that.
Yeah,
twist. I know. That's kind of what everybody was talking about. I think, and on top of that, I think they just need to, I think after Crown Jewel, they really need to either move on to Jade as champion, move on from Tiffany as champion. One of those things kind of needs to happen at some point. Are you still of the assessment that Stephanie is going to beat Tiffany? Do you think that's going to be a clean situation?
Mm-hmm.
You do? All right.
Sure. Sure. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
I mean, if Nia wants to take the trip to Australia to cost Tiffany the match, I guess that could happen.
Well, we've seen stranger things happen.
I mean, that's kind of AJ Styles' MO is to fly halfway across the world to cost rivals their matches. So it's not unheard of.
I feel like Nia as a character is that petty. I think they could do that. They can get away with that.
I could see that, but I just feel like with Stephanie just winning that title and probably really wanting to establish her, they probably don't want any wins for her to kind of have any sort of caveats.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, well, I don't know. She obviously has nothing going on Raw right now, so it's not like anybody there is going to do anything.
No, exactly. If anybody's going to interfere, it's going to be Nia.
It's going to be, some combination of Nia and or Jade. I mean, Jade's the one, technically, within the story anyways, her finisher was the one that was stolen.
Yeah.
And so maybe she would have, reason to do that as well. But she's obviously supposed to be a bad guy. But, this is a feud that's been going on for a while now. Yeah. I legitimately, I have no idea what's going to happen there. I don't. Every time I try to figure it out, as they do something, and I'm like, okay,
listen to me, Steve. I'm a 2-time predictions champion. See.
Well, are you like Roman showing up, being like, Steve, you got to listen to me, or like a Doc Brown situation? I don't know exactly what you're getting at here.
I know what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I just said, are you sure this is going to happen? You're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, not giving me much of anything here. Anyways, hey, guess what? October's only 2 days away, dude. You know what that means? Right. You know what that means? Am I right about that? Okay, good.
Halloween's coming up. That's what
it is. The spooky season. What are you going to dress up as for Halloween?
I'm not going to tell you because we still do it on the show, and it's got to be a surprise.
Do we do that? We do surprises?
Yeah, we usually do surprises. There's only that one year that we coordinated.
That was cool, though.
Yeah.
It was Tony Khan and CM Punk at the press conference table.
Yeah.
God damn, we were pretty clever.
Yeah.
The other thing that the new month brings is a new predictions challenge. So, of course,
the year you were the Smackdown hacker?
Yeah, that was fun. That was cool. These days, I'm just going to get another John Cena thing.
Yeah.
I was Peacemaker one year. So we've got Crown Jewel Perth, the what is it, 5 a.m. show?
Yeah, I'm not watching it that early though.
Apparently, we're in for a treat because like Raw and or SmackDown,
Both of them are from
both of
Australia.
them
So for Friday and then Saturday and then Monday, they're all early shows.
do some noon shows. Yeah, man,
Yeah.
that sounds cool.
Yeah.
So we got that coming up for the predictions challenge and Wrestle Dream. You and I got to decide on a bonus episode as well
true.
for the month of October. Anything?
Man, it's hard to top the two we've done so far.
It really is. It really. You know what we should do, man? We should do a movie review of The Wrestler, the Aronofsky one.
Oh, I thought you meant the one with
I'm down for a compare and contrast.
Ed Asner.
Yeah, man. You know, who deserved the Oscar more, Ed Asner or Mickey Rourke? You know, who would win in a fight? Billy Robinson's character, I forget his name, or Randy the Ram?
I believe it was Billy Robinson. Didn't Billy Robinson play himself?
No, I think it was Billy something else.
Oh, Billy Taylor. It was Billy Taylor.
How did you? That is impressive, dude. That is impressive.
I think that's what it was.
It's well, I mean, here's the thing. It's going to be narrowed down between like 3 British names. You know, Taylor can make some sense.
I think it was Taylor.
That makes sense. That could be. That could very well be. You know, Billy Saint. Maybe it could have been that. Perhaps I don't know. Anyways, so the big predictions challenge. Very easy to participate. Click join right here at youtube.com/Stephen
It was Billy
Larson.
Taylor.
Good job. Look at you. Click join to become a channel member or go to patreon.com/Steve and Larson. Click on the Friendo Club setup. It's the same price as the membership. You get the same things, access to the predictions challenge, and of course, access to our bonus episodes and the question threads. If anybody has any ideas for bonus episodes, let us know. But I kind of feel like that'd be fun doing a deep dive into The Wrestler, the movie.
The Wrestler, the movies.
Aronofsky's got a new one out, Caught Stealing.
Yeah, that looks like a bit of a departure for him.
It did. Yeah, it did. I've heard, like, I don't know. I've heard mixed things.
I haven't heard
like the
anything
movie
about it.
itself is a mixed bag.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about it. They were doing this thing where they were having like music playlists. They were making music playlists. I think people in the movie.
That's cool. What is it, 1996? You know what movie I'm looking forward to, man? That fucking Ben Affleck, Matt Damon movie.
Yeah, you were hyped about that.
Dude, those two guys in a movie together again? That's awesome. It really needs, like, it doesn't look like it's going to be a comedy, but it needs some comedy in there. They really should,
sure.
like...
You know what they should do? Keep the same plot, but they're the characters from their Dunkin' Donuts commercials.
That's kind of what I was hoping from this movie when I saw it.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit. What they should do is go through the movie, go through the bloopers, and add the bloopers to the scenes in the movies, in the movie itself.
Get rid of all the scenes in the movies. Exclusively bloopers.
You know those bloopers are fucking hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
How you like that? I just want like an hour and a half of how you like them apples.
I don't know if we're getting that, man.
I'll be so disappointed. I don't want to see them screaming at each other. I want to see them talking about donuts and those awesome track jackets
The Rip.
that they have.
That's what it's called, right?
The Rip. Yeah, it's going to be a rip if they don't give me some comedy bits between Matt Damon and Ben Affleck.
Joe Carnahan film.
Blinging with Kimberly became a channel member. Thank you, Kimberly.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. I suppose we should probably get into this, man. So if it wasn't for Roman Reigns coming back, I guess we would have been talking about Seth and Cody. Oh, boy.
Another long talky bit. I mean, it was kind of they had a retrospective of their relationship, their history, and it goes all the way up to right before WrestleMania 40 with their friends. And preceding their face-to-face on the show, we had this bit backstage where Tozawa and Maxine are talking, and Becky walks up and just talks all sorts of trash to Maxine, calls her 5 feet 9 inches of failure. And Maxine says, when I wanted a match, I wanted you to answer it because who else than the best women's wrestler in the world? And Becky's like, oh, yeah, everybody says it. And Maxine says, well, everybody except AJ Lee. Well, Tozawa laughs. So Becky punches him and then goes after Maxine, and then she walks off and then walks up to Seth. And Seth asks her if she feels better. She says, a little. How are you feeling? He just says, we'll see. And Becky's like, you want me to go out there with you? Seth says, no. You want me to go get Heyman? Seth says, no, I need to do this myself. So he heads to the ring. And he comes out to the ring first, and it's just
It's the
more of the
same.
same.
Look, the entire thing is boiled down to this line: the winner of the Crown Jewel Championship may very well decide the next 10 to 20 years of the future of this entire industry. Are they? Because Cody had said it's going to be like him, Seth, and Punk all vying for the position of head of content creation or head creative content guy like Triple H is now.
Yeah.
So, like, is that on the line? Like, the winner of the Crown Jewel Championship gets to be Booker after Triple H steps down?
I guess so. Let's up the stakes a lot here.
I mean, that would be something. Honestly, like, look, we know their history. We know Cody's 3-0 on Seth.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they should probably, they got a bunch of writers there. Write something more. Let's do a little bit of the Raven Tommy Dreamer stuff where they were at summer camp together as kids. Let's reveal a little bit more. Maybe Seth was taken in by Dusty as a young child over the summertime once, and they fought over, a girl or something like that. Or a dog, the affections of a dog. Because like that, you don't want to copy and paste what ECW did, but Paul Heyman's there. So, It's like, oh, I love this dog so much, but then it loved you too so much, Seth. And then they bring out this old mangy mutt. Played by Tyler Bate.
So like Cody comes out and he starts to wonder, well, does every decision really go through you? Did you send Braun and Bronson to SmackDown to attack me? And Seth said, yes, I did. Cody asks if Seth gave Heyman the green light to introduce Brock Lesnar at WrestlePalooza. And Seth at first does, oh, you got me, Cody. That's his body language. He goes, nope, I did. I did approve that. It was my idea. And then they're talking about, 20 years from now, who's going to be sitting in the chairs back there helping the future. So I guess that could be interpreted as who's sitting there in Triple H's chair right now.
Well, yeah, man, yeah. What could you imagine Seth ever being like shitting his pants over a match going too long because he doesn't want to piss off Cody?
That'd be wild if Cody was running things and Seth was the producer.
But then, but if Cody's the Pritchard, what if Punk is the Triple H?
Oh wow, that's the hierarchy back there, huh?
That's the Unreal I want to see.
So then, so Cody culminates his bit with this. He says, there's an image that is as real as it gets. It was you at WrestleMania 40 extending your hand, your knees shot, the shield for me, the MVP, every bit of guilt between us lifted, amended. I thought you were my friend. Seth says, shut up. I was never your friend. We were never friends, and that was never a friendship. It was a means to an end. You're the lesser of two evils. Says, we won't be friends. I won't shake or raise your hand or call you my equal. It'll never happen. I'm going to cleanse the timeline at Crown Jewel. Everything before Crown Jewel is dead, and I'm going to write a new history, a future. There is only one person to lead that vision. That person is Seth freaking Rollins. So again, it's the same concepts, just from slightly different angles. I'm the future of this business. No, I'm the future. Well, Cody was saying, we don't get to decide the future. Guess who decides the future, Steve?
Oh, you people.
WWE Universe, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because at one point, they were mocking Seth, being like, you didn't decide that or something like that. Mm-hmm. I did appreciate the visual dynamic between the two. Cody was wearing like a million different colors. He had like, what color was that? It was like a version of red that I don't even know.
It's like a very pale burgundy.
It's like a rose.
Yeah,
like
rose.
Deep
yeah.
rose. And then
it wasn't pink.
Yeah, it wasn't pink, but it wasn't red either.
Yeah.
And then he had like a grayish blue.
It was like almost kind of like a darker powder blue, and his shirt, but then the lining of his jacket was the same color.
Yeah. It was very, and then Seth was wearing looked like a, General Zod, but on the runway type situation.
Yeah, some giant shoulder pads in that jacket of his.
Yeah. He just needs to come straight out in the, who's the, David Byrne? Who's the guy that wore the giant suit?
Oh, yeah, from Talking Heads?
Talking Heads, yeah.
Yeah, David Byrne.
Yeah. That was goofy.
You want to do the dance?
You do the dance, yeah. And you might think. Anyways.
Seth be like, same as it ever was.
As the days go by, water. Anyways,
Let's talk about. We had a brief backstage interaction between Stephanie Vaquer and Tiffany Stratton.
so like the content or the analyst, the Steve that just likes to analyze good stuff wants this to be like a well scripted match. The fan Steve wants Stephanie Vaquer to just incinerate, to absolutely annihilate Tiffany Stratton. I'm so over. Like Stephanie does his promo about it. It's an interview. She says La Primera is ready for anyone. It's obvious she's been working on her English, but I'd take this in Spanish also. So I'm excited about facing Tiffany. I respect her, but she'll learn why I'm so dominant, and I'll be the crown jewel champion. And then Tiffany walks in. I respect you. I do, Stephanie, but you need to understand. And it's like, oh my God, stop, please. Anyway, sorry, that was fan Steve. So yeah, Tiffany says a whole lot of nothing, and Steph says your time's over. So I hope that's true.
Yeah.
And then the best stuff on the show
Yeah.
is this fucking Rhea, Io, Asuka shit. Oh my God, Asuka's face paint was fucking awesome.
Yeah, she had that last week too.
Yeah, it was great.
With the centipede on it.
Very cool.
Yeah, it is very neat. So Rhea opens the show with a promo in the ring. She says, look, I always knew it'd come to this. There's a little part of me that hoped we could settle it in the ring like the Warriors that I thought you were, but no, because of what you did to Io, that crossed the line. I mean, aren't you the ones who claim she's family? So here's what we do. We settle things in the ring tonight. So she calls out Asuka. She calls out Kyrie. So instead, Io's music hits, and she's, putting it lightly, very emotional.
Mm-hmm.
So she grabs the mic and says, Rhea, it breaks my heart to say this, but you were right about Asuka and Kyrie, but they are my family, and I still love them. Mm-hmm. She's on the verge of tears. Mm-hmm. Lights go down, like a single spotlights on them in the ring, and on the Tron, Asuka and Kyrie are there. And Asuka says, Io, I taught you everything you know. I mentored you. I paved the way for you. Now you act like nothing I did matters. You act like Rhea is your family. She is not your family. I made you who you are, and when you became champ, you tried to forget about me. Because I love you, I'm willing to forgive you. Just apologize like you should. Be like Kyrie. You can both still be my students. And then Kyrie adds, Io, we can still be a family again. And Asuka says, for Rhea, it's too late.
Yeah, and Rhea says, no, Asuka, you can go to hell. So Io starts crying. She's mixed up. Rhea's like, please, you have to trust me. I've been burned by my family before. I'm not telling you what to do. But you can't go back after what they've done. And Io says, I'm sorry, Rhea, I need time. And Io is hamming it up. And it just adds so much to it, I love it so much. So anyway, she leaves. And the Kabuki Warriors sneak attack on Rhea. Io's like, hell. So she runs down to pull them off. Crowd goes crazy for that shit. And then Asuka hits Io with the mist. She screams. Rhea comes alive, takes down Asuka, and headbutts Kyrie. Asuka kicks her in the back of the head. They throw her into the post twice. And then Asuka puts in an Asuka lock. And then, as Kyrie's saying, hits that insane elbow on Rhea. Just a really cool segment. Later on, Kyrie approaches Io. And she's like, Kyrie, get away from me. And Sane's like, look, I just want to talk. She's like, we can still be a family. It's not too late. Just follow me. Let's go talk to Asuka. You can apologize. And he was like, apologize? Get away from me. Leave me alone. So Kyrie puts her head down. And then she leaves her with a picture of the three of them. So later on, Rhea talks to Io backstage. And Io's like, look, you were right. I talked to Pierce at Crown Jewel. We're taking on the Kabuki Warriors. Rhea's like, all right, man, are you up to it? And can I trust you after you talk to Kyrie? She's like, look, you can trust me. I can't go back to them. Rhea's like, I'm in. Let's do it. And they hug, and Io's like, this shit's still in my eye. She was covered in this stuff. Not quite as bad as Rhea was last week.
No, but pretty close.
Yeah. So, come on, man, Mr. Prognosticator, Mr. two-time champion. They're not going to have Io turn at Perth, are they?
I'm not going to say absolutely not. But I'd be a little bit surprised.
I'd be surprised.
Io's
It's
so
Perth.
popular.
She's so, well, they're in Perth. Like, you can't have that story beat happen in front of all of Rhea's people. That'd be pretty ballsy if they did, though.
Yeah.
It would be the most interesting thing they could do.
Yeah,
Man,
maybe.
That'd be rough.
That would be rough.
I mean, that's what I want WWE to do, though. Take some risks, Take some risks.
What you want to have happen is similar to what we saw in Halloween Havoc 1998. We did a retro review of this. It's on the channel now. How Buff turned on Rick Steiner.
Yeah, right. Can you do, because whenever I try to, I get wrapped up in my wires. Can you do the Buff thing? Hey, you start hitting all your fucking microphones. I got too much shit over here.
Well, I got quite a bit. I got the mic. I got.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm saying you just whacked your mic.
Yeah, I know.
That shit was the funniest thing. But I still can't get over that Rick Steiner ate 4 low blows and still came out as
tag champ and beating his brother. I know. So then we mentioned Roman coming back. Main event was Usos versus the Vision in a tornado tag match. Before that, though, the Usos are backstage getting ready. And Jimmy asked about last week. He said, I needed your help, and you walked off for me in L.A. What's up? And Jay says, helping Knight gets us nowhere. He made us lose at WrestlePalooza. Let me ask you, why are you helping him? And Jimmy says, essentially, I help you, I help everybody. Jay says, nobody cares. I went out and got the dub. Maybe if you did that more, I'd be champ. But that's something you don't get. He says, forget L.A. Knight. Let's handle Braun and Braun tonight. And he starts to feel bad. And he goes, I love you, man. So right before the main event, the Vision's warming up backstage. Seth is shook still from his interaction with Cody. Cody's really in his head.
Oh, yeah.
Rent free. He's just saying, I have to beat him. And Heyman's like, of course you will. You're Seth freaking Rollins. You're going to. And then Seth says, no, I have to. I have to.
And then Braun barks, and then they go. Every time, whenever Braun barks now, it looks like it hurts him. He goes, arr! It's like he's got a shock collar on.
Oh.
Those
Maybe
are
he's just barking a lot backstage. So Seth's like, this is too much bark.
Let me put on a shock collar.
I don't know. I haven't noticed the kind of the pain you speak of when he barks. But
he winces every time. Whenever he does it, he goes like that. And I think he's just doing it for effect, you know.
Yeah.
But it kind of looks like it hurts him every time, which would be hilarious. Anyways,
it would be kind of funny.
I love tornado tag matches. I do like that there's no middle ground between like a boring tag match. Like, can't a tornado match simply mean like you don't really have to tag? Why does it doesn't have to be no DQ, anything goes anywhere?
Oh, yeah.
You know, but it's like, hey, just get rid of the idea that you have to tag in. Like,
or
you can
like
have.
There's the great middle ground, like in Lucha Libre tag matches. Your partner gets sent out of the ring, you're in.
Yeah, right, yeah.
You don't need the tag in that instance.
But like tornado just means like, fuck, you can do whatever you want,
Anything
including
goes. Yeah.
rent the OTC at the end. So we were about to get a stack situation here, man. They were going to go, they stacked the Usos. Bronson Reed's about to go for like a tsunami.
On stacked Usos.
On stacked Usos. And then Roman Reigns' music hits. Huge pop. He comes down with a chair, marches to the ring. Roman gets in, stares off with Reed, and after he had taken Braun out over the top rope, nails Reed with the chair, hits a few more. Reed goes over the barricade. Braun eats a chair. And then Roman rolls Braun in. The Usos hit a super kick spear combo. Double Uso splash. They get the cover and the win. And then Roman gets in, attacks Breaker with a chair. He rolls out. Him and Jay shake hands. They do the Predator handshake. And he just hypes him up. He's like, yeah, no, what you're doing, everything you're doing is correct. Don't listen to anybody else. Not that chump over there. Loser, that guy. I've always known that. Remember Jimmy's time as tribal chief? It stunk. You're the man.
I love Jimmy's time as tribal chief.
I did too. I'm saying Roman probably thought it stunk.
Poor Jim's back there just doing this.
Oh, man, yeah. He's like, damn, Oos. But in his head, he's probably thinking, you know, Oos probably has the private plane. So there's going to be some decent eats in my future.
Mm-hmm. Steak. Sushi.
Mahi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, then early in the show, first match tonight, I believe, Rusev gets robbed in his bid to win the Intercontinental title.
You know, I thought he had the plan. He beats Sheamus. He is champion.
Yeah, I mean, he was getting in Dom's face.
Yeah.
Give me my title.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Doesn't quite work that way. Maybe, like, that's what he was told in AEW, and he forgot that it's not how it works.
I don't know. Well, he seemed like he had the match won because he's looking for an accolade. Dom sneaks out, though. He goes and grabs both of his titles. And Dom hits Rusev in the back with one of the titles.
Yeah.
And Rusev no-sells it completely. So Dom looks for the Eddie spot where he throws him the title and bumps. Well, the ref turns around right when that happens and says, "I saw you do that."
Yeah.
Dom's like, "No, I didn't do it." So ref getting rid of the titles. Dom is right behind him, and Rusev is right behind Dom. So Dom hits the low blow, rolls him up to get the win.
Yeah.
Pretty lame.
Oh, no. Dom's great. Everybody loves Dom. Double champion. They got a lot of gold there in the Judgment
Dom
Day.
just made a liar out of Rusev. Beats Sheamus, he becomes champion.
Well, beat Sheamus, he is champion. Doesn't become, he is. That just makes him champion. But there's a step missing. Winning a title shot.
Well, Sheamus also. Well, I mean, if Sheamus had a title, then he would have been champion.
Right.
He did.
Maybe is it like the shillelagh? Could he just take the shillelagh? It's an object. LA Knight had his own Kofi Mania. So Adam Pearce was talking with Knight backstage, and they were arguing about him being the ref, and Pearce is like, "Hey, stay out of the Usos match." And he's like, "Yeah, give me my title shot." Yeah. New Day walk in. They interrupt. Wood's like, "Hey, you owe me a shot. You owe us a shot of the titles." And LA Knight says, "Hey, we're talking here." He says, "We're talking world title, so whatever you talk about, go away." And Kobe's like, "Actually, there is somebody here who has won a world title. Maybe you should step aside." He has a good point there.
Yeah.
Knight says, "I'll step aside right out to the ring. I tell you what, Mr. Former World Champ, never going to be one. I'm going to be champion soon, so I'll see you out in the ring." He's got to be really careful with this whole, "Oh, I'm going to be a champion soon" thing. Because, I don't know that he's going to be champion soon.
I don't know if he's going to be champion either, but it raises the expectations of his fans that it's a possibility.
Yeah.
He's seeking it. It's different from Sami Zayn, where Sami Zayn's like, "I'm going to be world champion." That I believe. At this juncture. I believe it more from Sami than I do from LA Knight.
It's more like, you know what it is? It's more like this, man. It's more like, you're like on a basketball team and you're facing like the Golden State Warriors, right?
Uh-huh.
But you've never won. Your team was like, "Zach, oh, I'm going to win a championship." And then they're like, "That's great. We've already done that." And
That's
you're
like
trying
when
to.
Klay Thompson was on the bench and holding up, 4 fingers for all the titles?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And it's like, "Oh, you're trying to big dog me? I was Kofi Mania. That was kind of a big deal, and you're just like everybody else trying to get a title. It's not really much of a flex, is my point."
Yeah.
And I like LA Knight.
Yeah. Yeah. He got
Yeah.
the win. It was a really good match between him and Kofi.
Yeah, it
I'll
was
say
fun
this.
stuff.
LA Knight's been picking up his game in the ring over the last year or so.
Well, you know whose game it is.
It's LA Knight's game.
You got that right, man.
But the quality of his matches are substantially better than they were 2 years ago.
You notice his promos are a little smoother now when he has to do lengthier stuff.
Uh-huh.
He's learning.
He is.
At the right age of 40, he's learning.
Hey, man, he's still relatively new to the world of WWE, though.
I know. I love it for him. I really do.
Too. It's a fun match. Finish saw Kofi looking for a dive. LA Knight ducks that. Kofi's looking for a Trouble in Paradise. Knight ducks that. Knight looks for a bellied back suplex. Kofi lands on his feet, and the Knight hits him with the BFT to get the win.
Yeah.
We got more on the continuing saga between Bayley and Lyra. We saw a recap what happened last week. So then we see Bayley backstage, and now she's kind of playing innocent in terms of what happened following the match last week. And she asked Lyra, "Hey, come join me at ringside again." And Lyra says, "Yeah, let's do what we did. I can help you win. You can shove me on my ass in front of the entire world." Bayley's like, "Okay, I'm sorry." Again, tries to get Lyra to join her. And Lyra says, "I don't know if this is genuine or what you're going through, but no more second chances. You're on your own." So Bayley has a match against Raquel. And Raquel ends up getting the win because Roxanne keeps interfering.
Mm-hmm.
Raquel hits a Tejana bomb, gets the W. So then Roxanne and Raquel start beating up on Bayley. Lyra comes out, kind of hesitates a bit before helping. And then Bayley eventually snaps and takes out Raquel and Roxanne both, sends them both out of the ring. And so Lyra's there. She's not sure what Bailey's going to do. And Bailey goes, "We got him." And then she helps Lyra up and says, "Come on, you idiot. Let's get him."
So that was that version of Bailey that we got.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for her to drop a ding dong hello.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the same as the idiot Bailey, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of the
Yeah.
same person there. So I hope that they give us some other turn at some point. Something, you know?
We need to see the wacky, wavy, inflatable tube man at some point.
Yeah, that's a must. You know, I actually really liked her theme song back then. They should
It was
bring
really
that
good.
back. Yeah. After that, imagine all those late nights that CFO dollar signs probably stayed up working really hard on those songs. And then you got Bill and Bob AI over here, you know, just churning out a bunch of crap. That's got to burn a little bit.
It does. It does.
So AJ Styles and Dragon Lee as a tag team. So AJ Styles' retirement year is going to be in a tag team with Dragon Lee, apparently, because they got a thing with Los Americanos. Now we've got Ryo and Bravo, which I don't want to, you know, you can drop this one. You had some speculation as to.
Oh, about how Bruce Pritchard maybe came up with those names.
Yeah.
Rio Bravo,
Right.
Old Western.
Yeah. That probably
First
Bruce
thing I thought of when I heard those names.
Pritchard most definitely is the only guy backstage that probably understands that reference.
Yeah.
Bravo is Tyler Bate and Ryo is Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
Americanos. Fun match, of course. Beforehand, we had like a promo with Dragon Lee and AJ Styles. AJ Styles. But the only, cool thing about it really was AJ Styles said, "I get to beat up John Cena."
Yeah.
It honestly felt like the kind of thing that would be during a commercial, but like
We got it.
we got it. So that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
AJ Styles and Dragon Lee get the win here, even though El Grande tries to get involved. Lee takes out Ryo with a dive. Styles gets the win with the Styles Clash on Bravo. And that was your Monday Night Raw. But we're not done yet.
Nope.
We've got Smackdown to review as well. We've already talked about the women's main event situation. They're all just building this Tiffany Stratton, Stephanie Vaquer stuff for Crown Jewel. So it kind of seemed obvious that Tiffany was going to walk out of here as champion. Going forward, though, once we're past Crown Jewel, what do you see for Tiffany in the WWE Championship, Women's Championship?
Tiffany versus Jade at Survivor Series. Jade wins.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was the main event, Tiffany versus Nia versus Jade. They each had backstage bits in advance of the match. It was kind of funny when Chelsea walks up to Nia and pitches her on joining the Secret Service.
Yeah. Well, they got an opening right now, so it's good to be ambitious.
So we went through the finish of that. Tiffany got the win after kind of the botch finish. Stratton hits the moonsault on Nia to get the win. Afterwards, Stephanie Vaquer makes her way to the ring. They hold up their titles to each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We had Cody chatting it up with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman opened the show with a promo, and he asked the crowd what they want to talk about. He stole Cody's. We're on our second review of the day.
Yeah. We watched No Mercy today, so be patient with us.
Oh, man. I can't wait for Larson's review. Honestly, we're just going to fucking build this thing as Larson reviews No Mercy. Because for me, it was like a whatever show, but I feel like you got a lot. Can you, do this for me tomorrow?
What?
I know, generally speaking, you don't get great sleep. Well, do something to make it even worse than that.
You just want me to stay up all night?
Yeah, and don't eat before the review. I want you to be as grumpy as fuck.
See,
before
what you're
reviewing
doing
No
there
Mercy.
by suggesting that is making me not even want to show up for work. Trust me.
I want you to channel all that into your No Mercy review.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry.
I won't say a thing. You won't have to worry about this guy instigating anything.
I have a hard
just
time
wanna-
believing that. I have a hard time believing you're going to be able to bite your tongue and not instigate for the span of a whole hour.
I know, it's kind of my thing.
I know you better than that. So yeah, Heyman opens the show with a promo. Asks the crowd, "What do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about the World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins?" And so they start chanting OTC. Oh, you want to talk about Roman Reigns, or the person that's down in the hospital, Bronson Reed, or the future WrestleMania main eventer, Braun Breaker, or do you want to talk about Brock Lesnar? So he gets interrupted by Cody. And he's like, who am I talking to now? Am I talking to the Oracle? Am I talking to a wise man? Or after what happened at WrestlePalooza, an advocate? So before Heyman can really explain too much more, Braun and Bronson show up around the ring. And then Cody's like, hey, Braun, you think Heyman's loyal to you? He says, I've been around a lot of bookers. Been around all of them. No one knows who Heyman is loyal to other than to himself. And so Cody says, looks like Braun and Bronson are looking for a fight. So he starts swinging. Braun and Bronson pretty quickly get the upper hand, and Braun hits Cody with the spear. And then Randall Keith Orton comes out to make the save. He's looking for an RKO on Braun, but pushes Orton into Reed. Reed eats the RKO, and then Braun rolls out to avoid getting RKO'd himself.
That is correct. Larson, this really should have been on the thumbnail. Sami Zayn actually executed the open challenge perfectly.
Yeah.
He comes out, says, who's it going to be? And it actually, before that, he was with Ray Phoenix backstage. Yeah. And Ray's like, hey, man, thanks for hooking me up with one. But, who do you think is going to answer? He's like, I don't know, which is an open challenge. That's perfect.
That's how it should be.
He says it could be anybody from SmackDown or Raw. We're in Orlando. Could be anybody. He didn't mention NXT, which is great.
But that was the inference by we're in Orlando.
Right. Yes. Yeah. And then, of course, from Orlando, Javon Evans answers it. And the thing that
was awesome.
The thing that I loved about this is that Javon Evans shows up. Crowd goes crazy for him because they love him. And
he's great.
Yeah,
he's one of the 5 best wrestlers in WWE right now.
I agree. But I know why they have him against Josh Briggs, I don't know. But we'll talk about that tomorrow. Oh,
started already.
Just don't eat breakfast. Don't eat any breakfast.
No, I need
protein bars.
If my blood sugar drops, I'm useless to you.
Oh, okay. All right. Anyways, so even him getting into the ring because, he springs up wildly high just to get in the ring before the match starts. And you hear an audible gasp from the crowd because he goes so high. And every move that he does, the crowd's like, oh, my God.
The height he got on that cutter off the top was insane.
Nuts. Absolutely nuts.
The crowd would have popped huge if Javon Evans had won this match. They were so invested in the outcome of this. And I feel like there was a portion of the crowd that was kind of let down when Sami won.
Oh, not a portion, the majority. Yeah, they were. And he had to go overboard showing, that he gave a shit about Javon. He was like, oh, God, is he okay? Is he okay? Lifting his hand up, pointing at him and all that kind of stuff to make sure that, he didn't have a forced heel turn here.
You know what kind of did it? This is what kind of did it. So Sami is looking for the Helluva kick a couple times, and Javon managed to evade it a couple times. And Sami hits it, but he doesn't pin him with the Helluva kick. He gives him a blue thunder bomb.
That was brilliant, by the way. That was great. I love that so much because it makes you think, oh, Sami's got to do this extra thing to make sure this guy stays down.
But here's the downside of that is that Sami so rarely wins with the blue thunder bomb that it makes it look like, all right, Javon isn't up to Sami's level or the U.S. champion level because he actually got pinned with the blue thunder bomb.
Oh, I disagree. I think because it was preceded by a Helluva kick, I think, you do that. You do the Helluva kick. I know it's funny because in the video games, you hit somebody with a special, and if you don't pin them then and there, and then you hit them with like a signature, they'll kick out. Mm-hmm. But in like the real world, think about it. You hit them with a finisher, they're out. They're done. Basically, it's like that time Kenny Omega picked up, was it Evil?
Evil, after he knocked him out with the V-trigger, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and then he hits him with a one-winged angel, which I know it's a different situation because that's his actual finish and nobody kicks out of that.
Yeah, that's the inverse of what you're talking about.
It is, but he'd already knocked the guy out. He didn't need the one-winged angel. In this situation...
That was actually a shoot situation where Evil was legit knocked out.
He was actually... That was messed up. Who just picks the guy up and drops him with the one-winged angel? That was horrible. I don't even like Evil, and I wouldn't wish that on him. Anyways, But no, he got him with the haluva kick. He's done. Let me
Yeah.
just hit him with one of these to make sure
No,
that
I
I don't have
understand
to
that.
worry
I
about
understand
it.
that. But the perception of the Blue Thunder Bomb is he never wins matches with it.
Oh, he did like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, this is
Remember?
the second time it's ever happened at WWE.
Okay. Well, it was a couple weeks ago he did it. And yes, it was. This is the third time, all right? So it's not unprecedented.
Yeah, the precedence is pretty small.
I took it as I got to make sure this guy is down.
I didn't take it as necessarily a slide. I get to see how it could be perceived as such.
Man, none of these nerds in the crowd know anything about that. They're like, oh, Blue Thunder Bomb, that's great. That's his finish, I guess. I don't know. Let's go get some popcorn, kids. These family dads, they don't have time to be keeping tabs on whose finisher
Oh
is
man,
what,
they got this huge spreadsheet of every time Sami Zayn's won a match and what move he's used to win it.
Maybe they do. I don't know.
Jacob Fatu came back on SmackDown.
Yeah, blood. Yeah, I
It's
mean.
good to have him back. So Drew McIntyre comes to the ring wearing a walking boot.
Yeah.
Cut a promo and he just basically says, I should be standing here as champion. Says, I had Cody beat, but Cody was, quote, one step ahead of me. He points to the rest mistakes during the match and asks, do you work for WWE or do you work for Cody? He says, I don't actually blame the ref. I forgive him. I blame Cody because Cody has all the power. So Nick Aldis comes out. I'm not sure what the point of Nick Aldis actually interrupting Drew here was, really.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, no excuses for the loss. Also, your boot, that's not from WWE Medical. And so Drew says, I have my own medical team. And Aldis goes, whatever, ref decision's fine. Well, I'm out of here.
And then he says this. No, the punctuating line is, if you want to sit out here all day and talk about it, that's fine. I'm leaving. I'm like, Aldis, it's your show. If he wants to take over the rest of the show, don't you have matches booked? You can't have this guy just out here for another hour.
I know. It didn't make any sense.
No, it didn't. None of it. Actually, none of it did. Like, he's
None of
going
it made
to,
sense.
he's yelling at the guy. Like, he's got his own medical staff. Like, what does it matter if he didn't take a WWE walking boot?
Yeah.
If he wants a walking boot, let him wear a walking boot of
I
his
guess
own.
the implication of that is that Drew is faking the injury. So anyways, Drew continues, but then pretty quickly he's interrupted by Jacob Fatu. Jacob tells Drew to shut up, stop bitching. Says, Drew, you blame everybody else for your own mistakes. And so Drew starts screaming at him. Who the hell do you think you are? I'm Drew freaking McIntyre. Trying to come out here and fire me up. I wasn't hurt. And then Jacob rips the mic away from his hands. He says, oh, if you weren't hurt, what? You must have forgot that Jacob Fatu is all gas. No breaks with it. You know what I mean? And then Drew hits him with a headbutt. And then Jacob just gets up. He starts fuming against the rope. Turns around, super kick.
Yeah.
Takes the walking boot off of Drew's foot and smashes Drew in the head with it.
And then he rips off his shirt, and he's got a shirt underneath.
Well, it was a Raiders jersey that was
Yeah.
backwards, so his name's on it.
Yeah, he always wears that thing, but it doesn't have the actual Raiders logo on it because like copyright or whatever.
Well,
but,
the Raiders logo, the
trademark.
jersey doesn't have a Raiders logo on it.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. And then he rips that off, or he takes it off, and he's got. And I wonder if he doesn't wear this. I mean, the Raiders jersey is actually really cool. It's the best branded team in all of sports, in my opinion. The Raiders.
High up there, yeah.
It really is. But then he's got, because in Orlando he's got, it just says Orlando Magic Jacob Fatu, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Jacob,
Yeah.
come on, man.
Maybe
Like
it was
the
a
bean,
situation
gotta
where he
bean.
was like, I don't really want to wear this. It's like, no, you have to wear it. We got shirts to sell. We got 5 boxes of these Jacob Fatu shirts. You're coming back tonight. People will be excited. We're going to sell a ton of them. He's like,
They're like, Jacob, your bucket, your merch bucket. Come on, you got to fill that thing up, man.
all right, I'll gas, no breaks, filling up that merch bucket. I'll reveal the shirt at the end of the segment.
Right, yeah. He said, you'll get it on TV for like 10 seconds. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. We're backstage. Charlotte and Alexa, they're talking. Zarya and Sol Ruka
Solruka.
come in. They're asking for a tag title shot. And Flair says, even I can't wave my hand and get a title shot. You got to earn it. And Zarya says, that's funny coming from Charlotte Flair. And Alexa says, you're both talented, but don't act or look like a tag team. We tolerate each other in a friendish way, but we work together. If you want to face us, prove yourself. Till then, get in line.
Yeah, yeah. And then the Street Profits are up. They're backstage. Kathy's asking about tension between the two of them. Ford's like, we're good. He says, the thing about us coming up short makes us hungrier. Want to get back what's ours. And Dawkins like, he's got my back, I got his. Maybe we go at it from time to time, but the goal remains the same. And they want the smoke. And then, although Ford did drop a psych, I haven't heard that in a while. He said,
Yeah.
"You think this is all over, psych?"
It's pretty great.
So we had Street Prop versus Mellow Don't Miz. I actually appreciated this because it did kind of advance the story. It wasn't copy paste again this time. Miz once again tried to get in on Mello's finishing move and sort of steal the glory for himself, but instead Mello just held on to him, and he was like, "You're not going to do that again." And that allowed the Street Profits to then get the win. And Mello had a chance, an opportunity to slide in and break up the pin, and he opted not to. So Miz ate the pin, and he just sort of stared at him. So thank God some development here in the saga of Mello Don't Miz.
Indeed.
And then the Street Profits were happy, and then the Wyatt Six just appeared on the announce table. So.
Yeah, they just teleported to the announce table.
Mm-hmm.
We had another tag match, Michin and B-Fab against Julia, Kiana James. Trying to think, there wasn't anything on the line for this. Obviously, like if Michin and B-Fab won, that Michin would get another U.S. title shot. I don't think.
No, I think the Street Profits are now technically the number one.
No. I'm talking about Michin getting.
No. I'm just saying in terms of shit on the line, like the thing we just talked about that. But in this case, I don't think so. No.
Yeah, I don't think so. Anyways, Julia ends up pinning Michin, I think, after the running knee Northern Lights bomb to get the win.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Seems like that feud's probably done for. So Alistair got the better of Damien yet again. So Kit Wilson, he's got a neck brace. He's in a wheelchair. Damien Priest is in the vicinity, and he just starts yelling at him about being toxic. So Damien flips over the wheelchair and says to Kit Wilson as he's tripping over things, he says, "Bitches be tripping, eh?"
Bitches be tripping, eh? And then he gets up and Aleister Black is behind him and says, he says, "Take it from me." Black shows up and he's like, "Take it from me, Damien." And then he hits him with a black mass. And he says, "Well, looks like we're getting somewhere. I feel we're doing this only until one of us is left standing. Oh, how rude. Happy birthday, buddy." And then he presents him with a tiny German chocolate cake. And he says, "Would you like this cake?"
Yeah,
and then Damien's like,
size.
"I don't,
probably shouldn't.
Bro, I'm in the mid-card share. Why not?"
And Alistair's like, "Fine."
No, he's like, "Fine."
Coughs on it. Oh, I thought he said he unhinged his jaw and shoved the whole single serving piece in his mouth.
That's because he is partially a snake.
And finally here, Solo cuts a promo talking of JC Mateo.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So he make up his mind. Does he want JC Mateo to have gold?
He didn't say anything in this about JC winning gold.
I think he realized he overstepped his boundaries. He thought about it. He was like, I shouldn't have said Tonga Loa should get gold because it's not believable. They did have a picture of Jeff Cobb with a bunch of titles, though. That was cool.
Yeah. Yep.
So and then Jeff Cobb says, "I love you, Solo," and that was your SmackDown right there. That was your SmackDown. So there you go. What a breezy episode of SmackDown 3 days ago.
Indeed.
Would you like to answer some questions?
Yeah.
I gotta remember to do this because now that we're doing these review recaps live again, I have little lowers, and I had the Raw one on for a very long time until we got to the Michin match, and then I changed it to the SmackDown one.
Gotcha.
So now I'll change it to the Friendo questions one. There we go. Look at that.
Creamy Beef Tips here asked, with Braun Strowman rumored to be playing Jason, the new Friday the 13th prequel, what classic horror movie franchise would you like to see rebooted and with which wrestlers as the main villains? I want to see Baron Corbin.
Oh, good.
As Pinhead.
Holy shit, man. That's actually pretty good. I like that. Did you just come up with that on the spot?
Maybe about 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, whenever I first read this question.
Wow, good job.
But I came up with it right after I read the question.
Excellent.
You have answer.
Not better than that, man. Yeah. That old Scott Bakula movie, Lord of Illusion.
Yeah.
I want the heavy in that. No, how about this? Ooh, no, what about this? William Regal as Hannibal Lecter.
Okay.
but then they bring back William Peterson, so it's within the universe of the first Hannibal Lecter movie instead of Brian Cox.
Yeah.
Or now that works.
There you go.
Who's another British guy? Oh, Kit Wilson, the other guy. They're British.
Yeah.
Who else is British?
Zack
Sabre Jr. would make a good. He'd make an interesting.
Tyler Bate.
Lecter. Tyler Bate, mumbly ass Tyler Bate.
About
Tyler
Pete
Bate as Bravo as Hannibal Lecter.
Okay. All right. Cruz here says Drew's about to lose another feud, isn't he? Yeah. Jacob Fatu's going over in that feud.
That's one thing I forgot to ask you. Yeah, that's happening, isn't it?
Yeah. Drew's getting closer and closer to Dolph territory.
Damn. If Oba. If Oba debuts, it might be against Drew.
Yeah, if that's the case, then
he's Dolph.
Yeah.
Wow, that happened quick.
It did, didn't it?
That happened really quick. Javier asked, do you see a Jay heel turn in the near future?
I don't know if he's going to go full heel.
Where are you, on the Patreon or the YouTube?
I'm on the Patreon.
Okay. Well, because the same, the David Matushek posted, I think, the same question there and here.
Oh, gotcha.
Just to make sure, I guess we get it in. Jay heel turn.
I don't think he's going to go full heel. No.
I think he's going to pal around with Roman. Jimmy's going to call up Jay. He's like, Oos, where you at? I'm at the mall. And then Jimmy's going to find my iPhone and be like, wait, Roman's at the mall too. Yeah, he's with me, Oos.
Yeah, we got some Cinnabon.
We got some Cinnabon. About to go to Pretzel Maker. They got a Pretzel Maker Mrs. Fields combo.
We're doing a tour of the food court of the mall. Yeet.
Yeet. Man, the Galleria, they got a Pretzel Maker / Mrs. Fields combo.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Well, they got the frozen yogurt there too at that one.
Yeah,
it's all free.
Frozen yogurt.
Just saying.
With that. Yeah. Dude, you got those little tiny chocolate chip cookies. Holy shit.
Yeah. I know you like your Mrs. Fields.
Bro. I know, that's why I can't go to the Galleria, because I can't stay away from that place.
Really?
Yeah, I got to go to Sunrise.
Is there anything there anymore?
I don't know. That place is and now Citrus Heights are looking to steal Sunrise from its owner. They're going to do eminent domain.
Wow.
Yeah, right? Because they're not doing anything with it.
No. Finn Gardner here says, is there any difference between watching wrestling as a fan as opposed to a content creator who makes a living reviewing and critiquing the product? Do you take notes during shows, etc.? For Raw and SmackDown, Chris Garrix takes notes for us.
Yes.
In pay-per-views, which is awesome. He does a great job.
Which is fucking great.
Yeah. I still do the notes for AEW for the most part.
Yeah, right. And you got to let off the hook with NXT, man. So you're down to one show.
And I will say that it's kind of a weird thing where obviously taking notes, I have to be fairly engaged in the show because I need to kind of write down fairly accurately what happens.
Mm-hmm.
But when I don't take notes, I do find at times that my attention can drift on slower episodes.
And your attention span is far greater than mine, so imagine me.
Yeah.
So whenever Larson's like, yeah, we saw that last week too, I'm like, fucking news to me. If I didn't notice it, it didn't happen. Joe the Meme Maker says, with Braun's new show being similar to Man vs. Food, which wrestlers would you have host a show, thus replacing the current host of any genre? I want another Unsolved Mysteries reboot, but with Bo Dallas. Oh, shit, that'd be sick. Bo Dallas in the place of Robert Stack? That'd be cool. I want to see that.
What about Fact or Fiction? A reboot of that.
Yeah, that'd be good. Also with Bo Dallas, but I'm trying to think who else, though.
Or Baron Corbin.
No, it'd be LA Knight. You'd be like, you thought that was a real story? No, you big dummy. That's a fact of life, not a fact or fiction.
He just has a dummy button there.
He's got the dummy button.
It's a dummy button. Dummy, yeah.
Yeah, it's a fact of life. Hey, you're a dummy. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be outstanding.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Let's see here. Ryan Chad says, I like the Bailey angle. What's the end point, though? A match?
I don't think they know.
Yeah, they have matches. That's what happens.
They have matches. They have a kind of vague idea of where they're going short term, but
I don't
have
think
any idea where they're going long term.
Ryan says, you think they're going to do like a therapy thing like Team Hell No? No, I think that's a Vince thing. That was a Vince thing that way outperformed its idea, its concept. It was like, holy shit, that was actually really good.
Because Daniel Bryan's fantastic. Brian Daniels.
Yeah, but they filmed it really well too. And the person they got doing the therapist stuff was actually pretty good.
Mr. Sinister here says, I saw your review of Halloween Havoc 98, and you guys said that Vince didn't like booking brother versus brother matches, so book a War Games match of brothers. Take turns on picking a brother, and the other gets the other brother. So 5-man team.
Okay.
I'm gonna flip this guitar pick.
Okay, well, hold on a second. Can the brothers can be just brothers in kayfabe as well?
Yeah,
right?
yeah, because one of the options here are Brothers of Destruction.
Okay. All right.
What do you want, heads or tails?
Heads.
It's heads. You get first pick.
I'm going to take the big bad booty daddy. I'm going to say Scott Steiner and all his freaks.
Man, I'm stuck with Rick then. Ugh.
You're stuck with it. Hey, Rick cleaned up at Halloween Havoc. 4 shots to the dick.
Brother, that was like the 20 best minutes of his entire career.
It was. It really was.
I'm going to take Booker T.
Oh, I'm cool
Stevie
with
Ray, though.
Stevie Ray has a gun. He literally told the story where he had a gun and he was going to shoot somebody.
That's true.
All right, I'm cool with Stevie Ray. I like that. Honestly, given the option, I'd probably choose Stevie Ray over Booker T to be. He has the slapjack. Oh, I love Stevie Ray. All right, I'm making out good. I mean, dude, yeah, come on, man. Nobody's beating this guy. The Undertaker. Unless, so you get Kane. Unless Kane aligns with Michelle McCool. Everybody's complaining right now about her kind of overstepping on his podcast because he got rid of the dude and he brought on Michelle McCool.
Interesting.
And like people are like, she just interrupts too much. It's his wife, man. You can't do nothing about that.
I'm going to take Jeff Hardy then.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Well, Matt Hardy is, I'm more of a Jeff guy and I know Jeff is the guy. But yeah, I'm cool with taking Matt. Is that it? Is it 4? Do we got 4?
Yeah. Well, I guess we can pick someone from the Usos. Do you want him, Jim Uso?
Man, I don't want to.
Our
Uso.
favorite tribal chief.
I'm trying to think of other kayfabe brothers, man. Oh, dude. Oh, man. Whose pick is next? Is it mine?
Yeah.
Give me Cody Rhodes, and you got Dustin and his shaky ass knees.
Now his knees aren't shaky anymore. You got him replaced.
That's yeah.
Better than new, Steve.
Yep. Let's see here. I like this one. You'll appreciate this. Gio says, "Why is Seth Rollins dressed like Rufus from Bill and Ted?"
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
He shows up. He's like, Cody, be excellent to each other.
Be excellent to each other. Edward Munoz says, why do wrestling fans put so much emphasis on Meltzer's star ratings and interviews he's mentioned? He doesn't actually put that much value in them. Mm-hmm. But in the comments section for your rankings, people act like he thinks the stars and his opinions are the end-all, be-all benchmark for wrestling criticism when he doesn't actually see it that way.
Oh, yeah, no, because he's the
That's
number one
man's
guy.
Opinion.
Yeah, but he's the guy. He's, everybody argues over him. That makes him the guy.
What's the name of his publication?
Wrestling Observer.
He is the Wrestling Observer.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, unless I don't hear anybody else making that claim.
Nope.
We got some other Yahoo out there called the PW Insider. Like, all right, that's not like Owatu and Marvel. You're not overseeing the entirety of the wrestling universe.
Exactly.
Exactly. So yeah, everybody else has their Joe Blow names. So unless somebody out there is willing to step up to the enormity of the Wrestling Observer, they're always going to be those other guys.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, that's all I got over here, dude.
See if I can find one more good one here.
Uno más.
Stephen M is asking, should they hotshot the tag titles for the Americanos, or to the Americanos, for the Judgment Day storyline?
No, 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 no.
They just
no.
lost tonight, so I don't think they're getting the tag titles.
That's got to go to Braun and Bronson. Those are the only people that make any fucking sense.
Well,
to
I
get
mean,
those tag titles.
you know, given that Americano is aligned with Dom, you could get to Judgment Day versus Los Americanos pretty easy.
Yeah, you could get there. You can get there, but look, I'd like it for Pete Dunne and. Hey, let me ask you this: if the Americanos thing happened under Vince, and this is how he did Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, would there be a lot more outrage? Would they be like, "Oh my God, what's Vince doing?"
Yeah, this possibility exists. Yeah,
I think so, huh?
yeah.
I think people are into it now because it's like, well, it's Triple H. He's not going to humiliate them. They seem to be taking it like they seem to be having a lot of fun with it, you know? And it doesn't necessarily mean that they're buried as characters, although I think Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate are probably not going to be seen for a while. Anyways, that's going to do it for the show today. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow with Larson's No Mercy review. Till next time, we'll see you guys around.
You're setting unreasonable expectations for this already.
Hey, man, I'm trying to be a promoter over here.